sixth gear. This place is called Snugborough. Mega fast corner. It's going to be. We're going to do it flat out in top gear. He was actually bothered about the bus. Fair enough. Must be a tight week for the police.
Oh, he heard about your track record.
Maybe that's what it was. So just coming into this left hand, then we're going to click 6 about now-ish. Normally you wouldn't use 6. You could do it in 5th, but the bike's so fast. When you pull over to the left here, the track drops away from you. The bike just wants to wheelie its head off, and it gets all out of shape as you come up over the top. So if you do it in 6, the bike's just a bit calmer. So you just click 6, about where that car is, in the middle of the track. That's where you want to be. Over all the white lines here. Then you're going to move over, and you're going to cross the arrow on the right-hand side of the road. That's where you want to be. You're going to hit the brake about there somewhere. You're going to come back 1 gear, maybe sometimes 2 gears, depends on the bike. Off the brake, pick the throttle up and drive under this wall on the left-hand side. You'll be really close to the wall on the left-hand side, and you do not want to cross the white line again. So you can come out to the white line, but don't cross it because you've got a right-hander coming up. So you need to pull back to the left, back down 1 more gear, and you want to be off the brake really early because it's super bumpy. It's going into me about now. You start feeling the bumps. There it is. You're going to pick the throttle up, drive right to the left. You're going to flip the bike into the left and stand it up because the jump about now. There you go. So you've got to be really careful of that, and any jump you need to be as upright as possible. So you turn into the left, pick the bike up, jump. As soon as it lands, hard on the gas. You drive out, come back. You can see all the back lines in the middle of the road. Driving over to the right hand side again. Super important corner. So that place is called Union Mills. It's a mega important corner because you've got a really long straight after it. So the faster you come out of Union Mills, the faster you get up the straight, and that's free time. Anywhere in a straight line where you can gain time is free time. It's easy time to gain. So that corner is a really important corner. And any corner that leads onto a long straight is super important. You need to get it right because that's where you're going to gain the most amount of time, the easiest. So we're already now up to about 5th gear again. We're going to be clicking 6 about where that red car is further ahead of us, so just before we turn right at the top. We're going to do a flat chat through the right. We'll be into 6 about now somewhere. We're going to do this top corner at about 185, 190, so flat out through the right hander. It actually looks like a bit of a corner, but on the bike it's not too bad to be fair, even at that speed.
Oh.
Driving yourself over to the left hand side of the road, the track drops away, so the bike always wants to wheelie, so you have to control the wheelie a bit. Even at 190 mile an hour, the bike wants to wheelie. Superbike in particular is still trying to accelerate, which is daft, but they do. It's a big wheelie just here. And coming up to a place called Ballagary, or as riders are more fond of it, is Ballascary. For very obvious reasons. 160 mile an hour right hander coming up, it's super scary. 30 mile an hour speed limit signs are pretty much a braking marker, which is always quite funny, I think. But you can actually go a bit past them now, so I'm about here somewhere, dragging a little bit of brake, back 1 gear only. As soon as you can see the corner, you need to turn in and hit the gas. So about now you can see the corner, turn and hit the gas. You want to be right by that white line on the inside, just there. You're going to be driving all the way through it. Be just left of the white line. Look, you see where the black lines are, that's where you want to be, just left of the white line. If you're about where we are now, you've had a perfect line and you should have the perfect speed to get down towards Crosby. Track drops away just on the exit past this little driveway, so somewhere here. Right then kind of picks up and wheelies and has a bit of a wiggle. There's always a camera, a slow-mo camera here, that's one of the places they do it. But about where their bikers are, that's where we're going to click 6th gear again. So we're back up to top gear. And then because we've got big long straight, any of the big long straights, normally you just sit in the middle of the road for a very obvious reason. Give yourself as much space as possible if anything was to go wrong for whatever reason. And it could be anything here at the Ironman. So normally just sit on the white line, either slightly left of it, slightly right of it. You tend to find all the English or left-hand driving, left road using riders will sit on the left hand side of the white line, and all the foreigners, as we would call them, sit on the right, which I always find quite interesting. Just naturally you go to the side that you're always used to.
Yeah.
I'm going to go flat out through the village. We don't roll at all, so your 3rd gear through Douglas Road corner. I'm going to click 4th gear now, over past the Mitre pub. Driving yourself out to the bus stop on the left hand side, that green bus stop, that's where you're heading towards. And as you go past the bus stop, you're going to click 5th gear. Ace pace through here, so we're doing about 175 through the village. 5th gear flat on the super right. We actually click 6th gear on super sport towards the end. The sense of speed through here is just astronomical. You can't, but doing 175 through these two buildings in particular, you can imagine how close they feel at that speed. It just gives you a massive, massive sense of speed. Big wheelie through the middle. We're on the right hand side of the road at the minute. And then we've got to work the bike really, really hard when we get to the end. So through here, you're going to be yellow line on the left hand side. Over to the right where the hedge is. Bear in mind the bike just wants to go straight and you have to work it left, right, back to the yellow line on the left again. Mega, mega hard to get the bike to do that. It does not want to do it, it just wants to go straight. You have to force the bike, manhandle it. Now you can let the bike drift over to the right, in by that hedge and the bus stop. First of the Renko jumps. It's normally not a bad one this one, but I had a massive moment here with the first Superbike race. If you go on the Monster Twitter channel, you'll see the onboard. It's not very nice at all. But you come back one gear, and then drive over the top. Normally by driving it, like I said, on throttle over a jump normally is really good, but for some reason on the first lap of Superbike it definitely was not. I had a massive moment, but anyway, you're going to be in by the right hand side, really bumping through that corner just there. But you want to carry as much speed as you can as you go right to left. And then stand the bike up about now somewhere. Massive jump over Renko, proper jump just there. Jumping on the right hand side of the road, it's about 140, 250 mile an hour jump that one, big jump. Landing, get pinned, click 5th as you go through the right, you're going to stay pinned as you go through this right hander, so you're already up to about 160 again as you come through here. Bike wiggles and wheelies off the top. Flat out under the trees, and in the daylight normally, it's not so bad today, but if it's a really sunny day, you get a strobe effect off the trees, so you get sunlight, shade, sunlight, shade, sunlight, shade, and your eyes are constantly trying to readjust. It's really, really difficult. Click 6 as you go through this left, and into the right hander. You can do all of this absolutely flat out, so you're talking 180 plus all the way through here. It's mega fast. Again, the bike does not want to move. You have to force it into doing it. Coming up to a place called Alpine. We're on only 16 miles into the course, so we're not quite halfway yet. I hope you're remembering all this. On the left hand side, you've got to try and straight line the whole lot. It's not too bad on the solo. You have to work it a little bit left to right and back to the left again, but it's not too bad. Big jump as you come over the top of this one. And again, so you come back one gear, that's the one jump you do off throttle, you've got no choice with it. We come back one gear just before it, over the jump, onto the right, and really pinned as you come through there. And then flat out on the run down to the left, back up to top gear again. You used to just have to work it out for yourself on that one, but now the windsock's there, at least we've got a bit more of an indication. We're starting to go downhill now, so the bike feels like it's had a turbo added to it. You're going up the gears really, really fast when you come out of windy. So back up to top gear already, around the 190 mile an hour mark as you come through here. Drift over slightly left to the right line, but not too much. You need to get back to the right hand side into the 33rd. Mega fast corner of 33rd. Brake, back down 2 gears. This is where the delay was for the Superbike race. You can see the Porsche light went straight on. Went straight off over there somewhere. You shouldn't have been doing. You need to use circuit over to the right hand side. back into the left again, and on the exit we're going to click up to 5th gear on the exit. So as you come across the white line again, back up to 5th gear. Now we're going to be hard on the brake. Back down 2 gears from 5th to 3rd. Off the brake, back on the throttle, drive through the right-hander. Back down 1 more gear to 2nd. 3rd on the Super Sport, but 2nd on most of the other stuff. Driving over to the right, see all the black lines, everyone's really hard on the gas here. This is called Keppel Gate. Back to the left hand side of the road. As it wheelies there, you're going to click 3rd gear. And the run down to Kate's Cottage, you're going to click 4th gear. You have to dip the throttle and back on it again. So you're just going to close about now, and then pick the throttle up and drive through Kate's Cottage. You're on the throttle through it, you get a really good fast exit on the run down to the Craig. Click 5th gear over the jump, both wheels come off the floor. Big jump was there. And again, depending on which way the wind's been, you can brake late or early. So on the Superbike, somewhere between the 3 and the 2 on the right hand side. The wind's against you right today, you'll be closer towards the 2. If the wind's behind you, you need to be more at the 3. So it does change day to day, you have to be super careful. You're going to come back down to 1st gear. Maybe 2nd gear. 1st gear on the Superbike, 2nd gear on everything else with the Craig. I'm trying not to wipe out a couple of bikes. Failed the test already.
I had a 50-50 chance.
And all that in 17 minutes.
Yeah, all that in 16 minutes and 42 seconds is the fastest lap.
Oh, go, geez.
And when you think about how slow some of the corners are, like even that last governor's dip, the average speed over 135 mile an hour. The run from the start line to Ramsey hairpin, so that end of sector 3 where we started the mountain, average speed from start line to there is 150. Is the average speed, and that's even with the Quarter Bridge, Bradham Bridge, Parliament Square. So basically, I've never actually worked it out, but 95% of this lap, I'm going to guess at, is over 160 mile an hour. So the majority of the time, you are over 160 mile an hour.
Wow.
It's super, super fast.
This is so exciting.